YouTube family, this is Grown B, and this is probably my best win in ranked. But I do not think that I would have been able to get this win without a YouTuber named VDX. So initially I was trying to use this session of ranked matches to practice my pokes so that I can condition my opponents and then set up throws later on in the match. This ultimately got ruined by this Dragunov player suddenly being like super committed to just like throwing me. And so of course, like as a king player, I'm a little offended by this, and he gets me on his first few throws. And you're probably wondering by now, like, where does VDX come into this? Well, he has a training video that specifically focuses on training your mind to see and anticipate and react to throws, and then program your hands to respond properly to the throws that you see. And for this training routine, he actually uses Dragunov. So this gameplay isn't necessarily me doing all the right punishes. This isn't necessarily me optimizing combos, but this is me just recognizing that my opponent is committing to throws and realizing that in order to win, I'm gonna have to break them. In addition to that, obviously as a king main, I decide, okay, if you really wanna play this game, we'll play it. We'll see if you are able to break enough of my throws to survive versus the throws that I am able to break of yours. And unfortunately, a couple of rounds go by before I finally got down, okay, he's using the same setup for all his throws. I messed up on some of the throw breaks, and obviously by process of elimination, I finally figured out what the actual throw breaks were. And so this whole set just becomes a really defensive challenge for me to block his strings, anticipate his throws, and break his throws, and then in addition, go ahead and start throwing out some of mine. And I think the throw break training drill that VDX has really did help me. I think what it helped me with more than anything is just recognizing when I should be reacting and trying to break throws. I'm not even necessarily great at watching the limbs. And so unfortunately, I break one of VDX's rules, which is it's better to be late than wrong when trying to break throws in his training exercise. But I think what I was able to get good at was just discovering, hey, you're getting thrown, like they're trying to throw you, you should be trying to break it. And so I think what it became was, okay, I tried to break it last time, I used a 1 break, it's obviously not a 1 break, I'm gonna try a 2 break this time, and oh, it's a 2 breakdown. And then from then on, I was pretty much able to break the vast majority of his throws during this session. But it also taught me a little bit about how I should be using throws, which is something that I already do, which is use different setups to mix up which throws that I have coming out. Like I use probably a combination of 2 or 3 different throws that I actually throw out of Jaguar step. I also like to do a jab into a giant swing. I do a jab into a Tijuana twister. I do a jab into a muscle buster. And then sometimes I'm able to catch my opponent starting to duck because they just don't want to deal with whatever throw they think is coming. And then of course we're bringing out our crouch grab pedigree. And I think what this match actually taught me is that as strong as throws and things are in Tekken, you can still be sort of poor in your execution with the throws. You can very much telegraph, right, how you're going to do your throws. And that was one of the biggest reasons why I was able to break so many of this guy's throws, because he would use the same string straight into the same exact throws. And it reminds me of a comment that I saw on a YouTube video about throws in general, and talking about how pros are just so great at reacting to throws, which is true. As you get into the higher ranks, people are better and good at breaking throws. And obviously pro players are not just at the mercy of throws, but at the same time, the thing is, don't make it a situation where all they have to do is react. That's where those kind of, not necessarily mix-ups come in, but just adding variation, making them have to think. Okay, is he going to jab into giant swing? Is he going to jab into Tijuana twister? Is he going to go through the 1-2-1 string entirely? Is he going to go from a jab into a mid? Is he going to go from a jab into a low? And when you start to kind of mix up your throws that way, then you have a situation where you're not just putting yourself out there to be reactable, right, all the time. To be honest, I think that I won this fight not because I decided to go into a grab off with this guy, but the fact that I decided that I was going to put my skill of breaking throws to the test here in this ranked match. If I wasn't breaking the throws that he was throwing out earlier, I think he would have continued to try to do them over. Look, he's doing, this is the same setup, right? He would have done it over and over and over and over again, right? If it was successful. Like, think about it. Think about how much he's doing it unsuccessfully. So of course, if it was successful, he would be willing to throw it out there nonstop. And so when I think about, right, a win, to me, it's more than just getting a few more points in a ranked match. To me, this is a sign that I have grown as a new Tekken player. If you like the video, like it. If you think someone else might like it, share it. And if you want to see more, I really hope that you will subscribe.